When I was younger, I went on a road trip with my friend without my dad's permission. In high school, I went on a secret trip to Six Flags from Houston to Dallas. Just me and a friend, and being exhausted from 12 hours straight of rollercoasters. Around 3 a.m., I was starting to hallucinate while driving the both of us home. I saw a herd of cats on the road and the silhouette of a vampire on a road sign. The worst one was when I thought the road dropped off at a 90-degree angle, like rock bottom in Spongebob. All of a sudden, a car appeared 30 feet in front of me on the highway. I pulled over to gather myself and we made it home safe. Kinda terrifying, but the fun we had at Six Flags, and the fact we didn't die, made it all worth it in the end. In 3rd grade, I consumed the saliva and chewed up food from multiple kids to prove I had a good immune system. I wanted to impress my friends and the popular kid, so I made them chew up pretzels and spit it onto my hand. They started to tease me, saying things like I wouldn't eat it. So I did, multiple times. I held my head up high with pride, declaring that my immune system was great. So, they chewed up more food like orange slices, and handed me it for me to eat. I did so effortlessly. I ate it all as my teacher looked in horror for what I had just done. Couple years later, and I'm mortified. I'm so sorry, immune system. I did CPR on a mole, but it didn't work as intended. When I was 9 or 10, I caught a mole, and I wanted to show it to my friend who would I meet later that day. So I put the mole in a bucket and put the lid on it. Only problem that I left the poor thing out in the sun and probably got a heat stroke. Later I went to check on it, and when I saw that it was dead, I panicked and started performing CPR on it. It didn't work. When I saw that the chest compressions wasn't going to be enough, I got the bicycle pump. It needed to breathe. I pumped until air came out the other side. That's when I knew I lost him forever. I held a little funeral for the mole and never talked about it until now. I bullied and laughed at my best friend for over 5-6 years, and I regret it every day. I was best friends with this girl who we'll call C for over 5-6 years, and it was a great friendship, but had very toxic things throughout the entirety of it. It started off with her making fun of me for stuff, and would always mention embarrassing things, but we kinda had a peace between us for a couple of years. Then over the course of a few months there was a new group made up of 5 girls, and SHT hit the fan. Every day 3 girls would make fun of C, and she always fought back, and I think they saw it as a challenge to make it worse, and I never ever did anything to stop it. I never said anything to her face, but in group chats, I would like comments making fun of her or occasionally join in. I knew how bad it was, and it was brutal, but I never did anything to stop it, and just laughed along, and that makes me just as worse as them. Don't get me wrong, she did and said some mean stuff too, but I think it was mostly in defense, and she made jokes about one of my other best friends' personal life, and that was the final straw between us all, and she left the group. There's not a day that goes that I don't think of us, and how much I wish I could change things, and everyone in our group admits we all fucked up and did some shitty stuff, and we've grown so much since then, but we all still did it, and I knew of some personal stuff she was going through, yet I still participated, and I hate myself every day for it. I've really lost myself these past few years and go to sleep every night hoping I don't wake up. In the past 2 to 3 years I've dropped out of college, moved back in with my parents and lost the love of my life. 3 years ago I started going to school as an exercise science major. I was working out every day, super motivated, had an absolutely amazing girlfriend, and we had an apartment together. Things were amazing. I felt so proud of myself. I felt like I had everything figured out. Then depression beat my ass. I stopped showing up to classes and ended up failing all of them. I stopped showing up to work until I quit altogether. I put my ex-girlfriend through absolute hell. She tried so hard to help me, and I just couldn't become the man she needed. I'd kill to have that girl in my life today. I've never met someone so amazing in my life. The smartest, funniest, strongest, most beautiful, caring. I could go on all day. An absolute dime a dozen. I felt like I hit the lottery with her. But even with someone like that on my side, I couldn't beat what was going on inside my mind. Felt fucking tortured every day. I tried therapy and antidepressants, but it just didn't work. Maybe I didn't stick with them long enough. It's been a year since all of that. I'm currently back living with my parents and working a shit job. I currently have no goals, no energy, no motivation. Overall, don't give a fuck about anything. My only source of relief is the fact my job doesn't have me working because of the virus, and I just sit at home and play games all day. The only thing keeping me going is that I'm only 21, and maybe with time I'll look back at this point of my life and laugh at how far I've come. I'm really hoping I'll gain some sort of motivation to get my shit together. Or maybe I'll be a deadbeat the rest of my life.